Berlin is trying to engage, get involved into this, and Berlin already supplied Ukraine with 3 Patriots previously. So the initial, as you know, that after in the past 6 months, after all this rows, after all these scandals, there was a deal that Ukraine will be purchasing this military aid, but at the moment it's still like on a table, it's still every day is changing.
President Trump and Zelensky have agreed to work together to strengthen Ukraine's air defences in the wake of one of the biggest Russian attacks on Kyiv since the invasion of Ukraine. Russia has reiterated that it doesn't see a diplomatic outcome to the war. Trump has said he's disappointed by President Putin's lack of commitment to peace after their conversation on Thursday night. Meanwhile, Russia and Ukraine carried out their 8th prisoner exchange since the latest peace talks in Istanbul. Neither side revealed how many people were involved. Let's speak to Kateryna Malofieieva, who is a journalist in Kyiv, who actually went to that prisoner exchange. Morning to you, Kateryna.
Good morning.
Let's begin by talking about President Trump and Zelensky's agreement to work together. What do we know about that, and indeed what Trump has said about President Putin?
Well, I think it's pretty clear what he said after his call with Putin, that he was deeply disappointed about the course as a result of that call, and just the day after. The hours after that, we had probably, if not the most massive attack on Ukraine, more than 550 different targets Russia launched against Ukraine, including Shahed drones and missile and different types of missiles. But I mean, with regard to Kyiv, President Trump and President Zelensky agreed on continuation of this of different ways of solving this issue with military aid. The different contract, different sort of business relationship. But I mean, at the moment we have this lack of the air defenses that was suspended by the head of the Pentagon. We have the lack of the military aid and military equipment that Ukraine agreed to purchase from the United States. This is mainly the air defense, which are crucially important for civilians, for the peace on Ukrainian land. And after the previous night, the amount is depleting. The amount of this air defense missiles is extremely depleting.
And so the lack of those air defense missiles coming from the US is because Trump is saying that at the moment their own resources are depleted, so they can't be selling them to Ukraine. Is that correct?
Yes, this is the original explanation. Yes, you're right. This is the original explanation, but it also shows that I understand that Berlin is trying to engage, get involved into this, and Berlin already supplied Ukraine with 3 Patriots previously. So the initial, as you know, that after in the past 6 months, after all this rows, after all these scandals, there was a deal that Ukraine will be purchasing this military aid, but at the moment it's still like on a table, it's still every day is changing.
We spoke to you yesterday and you were talking to us about that huge drone attack on Kyiv. You were telling us over 500 drones were flown towards Kyiv. Just give us a sense of what that is like for Ukrainians to deal with that level of attack.
I haven't experienced myself such a level of attack in years. I've been covering war for 11 years. But when you don't sleep, it's very hard to work. It's very hard to exist. The attacks in the past 3 weeks, they started, the recurrence is roughly like 2-3 times a week now. So you are constantly sleep deprived. It's very difficult for civilians to work. It disrupts the public transport. It's like the night before because of the attack, some of the railways were damaged. It caused the delay of the trains that go to Poland, which is important for Ukrainians. We don't have planes. It's a no-fly zone in Ukraine, so the only way for Ukrainians to go abroad, to travel somewhere, is via the neighboring countries. So one of these trains was delayed to 1 hour and a half. It's of course it's caused a lot of damages and affects people's life, and including, of course, mainly the life. When yesterday we had only one casualty, which is good. Which is not as horrible as before, but it's a massive risk for people's life.
Of course. Also, talk to us, if you would, Kateryna, before I let you go, about this prisoner exchange that you went to yesterday. Just explain how that worked, and we're not clear on the numbers, are we?
That's correct, because the officials who were present, they didn't confirm they didn't tell about the number of the POW who were returned to Ukraine. I just want to say that when you see this on TV, when you see the pictures online, it's absolutely different feeling than when you come to see it in person, because you have like ambiguous feeling. At one point, you are very happy that Ukrainian soldiers are coming back after 2.5 years, 3.5 years in the captivity. I heard ex-soldiers as ex-POWs speaking to their families who they didn't hear for 2.5 years. They're telling like, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be home soon, and I love you so much. But at the same time, it's a very poignant feeling because you're surrounded by the families who are waiting for their husbands and fathers to come back. Some of them went missing. There is no information about them, and they have these bits and pieces that they receive from those who are returning, and this is so painful when you hear them like shouting to the defenders like names of the locations where their husbands went missing. Oh, have you seen anyone from Kursk? Have you seen anyone from Pokrovsk? Have you seen anyone from Bakhmut 2023? So some of them, these men were captured or went missing back in 2022, 2023. So it shows them. I wanted to say that it is extremely important to cover this, and this is the AIDS exchange, AIDS swap. There will be more swaps, but again, we don't know how many Ukrainian soldiers are in the captivity, because some of these families, they kind of receive like information that they're in the captivity, but officially Russia doesn't confirm. So people are hung up in the air. They're like in limbo situation, and hearing these voices of small Kira of 4 years old shouting, "Have you seen my dad?" This was extremely painful.
Yeah, of course. Kateryna, thank you for explaining that to us. It's a really important insight. Kateryna Malofieieva there, who's a journalist in Kyiv, who was at that prisoner exchange yesterday.